Well, good morning. It is Tuesday, July 20th. I'm Danielle Wiggins with your 3 News Now morning update. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me on the WKYC Facebook and YouTube pages. We're covering the launch of Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin Shepard rocket. Did you see it? Well, you are going to in just a second. And an announcement from the Cleveland Metropolitan School District about masks that has many of you chiming in with your thoughts. But first, we check in with Holly Strano, who's tracking late-day storm chances.
Thank you, Danielle. And looking ahead towards the rest of the afternoon here, we can't rule out just a real spotty shower. Most of you will be dry through the actual afternoon. And then as we get into this evening and tonight, we see numerous showers and a few thunderstorms over the lake. A lot of this just kind of falls apart as it moves inland. But we're not going to rule out just a stray shower or storm, especially for those of you that are close to the lakeshore. This is the picture at 10 o'clock tonight. And then we see some showers left over into early tomorrow. But more importantly, what happens, we clear out, so plenty of sunshine into the afternoon, but also much cooler. Highs in the 70s. This is 3 o'clock tomorrow. And it will definitely be noticeably cooler as we head through tomorrow night and into the start of Thursday, with most of you dipping into the 50s to near 60 degrees. In the meantime, for the rest of today, it is going to be a little bit warmer than yesterday. Highs in the mid 80s, good amount of sunshine until we start to talk some of those shower and storm chances. But again, they will be spotty. Some of you will not even see any rain. And then for tomorrow, might have a leftover shower or two. Otherwise, plan on that cooler weather with highs in the 70s. Around 80 degrees for Thursday. For Friday, a very July-like weekend, no question about that. Partly sunny skies, isolated to scattered storm chances, and mid-80s. Partly cloudy skies Monday and back in the mid-80s. Danielle, back to you.
Oh, and history made in Texas this morning as Amazon founder Jeff Bezos successfully flew to the edge of space with an all-civilian crew. The rocket and capsule carrying the 4-person crew was developed by Blue Origin, the private spaceflight company Bezos owns. The new Shepard rocket launched around 9:11 a.m. in a Texas desert southeast of El Paso. Lasting roughly 10 minutes, the flight included the capsule separating and going to the edge of space before descending back to Earth using parachutes. And on board with Bezos was his brother, a team from the Netherlands, and an 82-year-old female aviation pioneer from Texas. And as people descended on the tiny town of Van Horn, Texas for the launch, they were greeted by a mural of Jeff Bezos. The artist wanted to pay tribute to Bezos and his team. And remember, you can check out the liftoff on WKYC.com. Turning to coronavirus now, a major announcement from the Cleveland Metropolitan School District last night. CEO Eric Gordon had a message for parents about new rules for students on mask wearing and more.
Therefore, for the first 5 weeks of school, or until updated CDC guidance is released with different recommendations, all CMSD students, employees, and school guests, including those that are fully vaccinated, will be expected to continue mask usage at school and during indoor school events and activities.
Cleveland students ages 12 and up will also be offered COVID vaccines, and free testing will continue. The district is keeping its virtual academy open, which will be opening a formal remote school. And check out the On the Go Post show on both Facebook and YouTube. Now, that's the show that we do after Go, the morning show with the morning team. Now, where our morning team, we discuss this story in depth with you, the viewer. And many of you had some interesting comments on Facebook, and we are reading all of them. So make sure you check it out. And we've seen a lot of changes to how the grocery store operates when it comes to shopping during the pandemic. Now Costco is reversing its plan to cut senior hours. This as the U.S. sees a rise in COVID-19 cases. The retail chain was planning to remove hours for seniors, those with disabilities, and the immunocompromised. But an update Monday says warehouses will be open 9 to 10 a.m. on Tuesday and Thursday for those members numbers starting on the 26th. Costco also says it will follow face mask regulations set up by state and local governments. And a new study is shedding light on just how long COVID-19 antibodies may last. Researchers tested more than 85% of the residents in one Italian town in February and March of 2020. So they found that 98.8% of those who were infected showed detectable levels of antibodies 9 months later. However, the study authors say the antibody level varied depending on the test used. And we're continuing to follow local headlines for you this morning. Here's 3 things to know. Lorain City Council voted down a new halfway house in the city. The new owners of the former DeLuca's place were considering turning the space into a facility for prison inmates who are just weeks away from release. But residents voiced concerns about safety and property values in that area. The council voted the idea down last night. And the little boy from Stark County who died in a freak elevator accident while on vacation has been identified. 7-year-old Weston Scott Andro of Jackson Township died earlier this month after he became trapped in an elevator in a rental home in North Carolina. He was staying there with his family. Funeral services for Weston will take place in Massillon on Wednesday. And more frustrations for vendors at the Westside Market. This after a power outage on Saturday caused them to lose thousands of dollars in sales and goods. Vendors told us Monday they think the problem can be easily fixed and the city knows the solution.
We need a generator. I mean, we've known that for years.
I've been asking for it for 3 years now as the current president. The simple fix, but it's not that simple for the city.
Cleveland City Council approved more than $2 million in funding for updates back in May. We reached out to the city for a comment, and so far they haven't responded. But we'll continue to update this story as new details become available. And as the U.S. deals with ransomware attacks on American businesses, there's word of a cyber attack on the city of Geneva. City leaders say they discovered their online and data systems were breached early Friday, but emergency services were not disrupted. The attack first surfaced on social media where a ransomware gang took credit. They posted that it shared social security and credit card numbers as proof, threatening to release more data if the city did not negotiate.
Sometimes it is because they're well known or they're known to have a lot of money. But a lot of times hackers don't necessarily even see whose system it is. They just see vulnerable systems as they're out there scanning the internet.
Geneva city leaders are still assessing how much, if any, of its citizens' sensitive information was breached. But they're asking residents to monitor their financial accounts and credit reports. They also want you to change the passwords to your personal accounts. Okay, finally, you better expect to pay more when you need to fill up your gas tank. Prices are up 11 cents since last week here in Ohio. That's the biggest jump in the country. Right now, the average price of gas here in Northeast Ohio is $3.08. Ouch. AAA says high crude oil prices are to blame, and we should expect higher prices through the summer. Well, thank you for taking time to join me for this 3 News Now morning update. Our digital team will continue to bring you the stories making headlines around Northeast Ohio and beyond. I'm Danielle Wiggins, and I'll see you Wednesday morning on Go starting at 4:30 a.m. Have a great day, everybody.